Taurus, welcome back to Born Without Boundaries. If you're brand new, hi, my name is Michelle and this is my channel, Born Without Boundaries. Please click subscribe and ring that bell so you know when all my content goes up and you get notified when I go live. And then you can join our conversations, they're awesome. Taurus, this is your week ahead reading, your weekly tarot forecast for, generally speaking, the midweek of September, September 15th to the 21st, but for you guys, it would be more September 17th to the 22nd, 23rd of 2019. We're going to give you a general forecast overview. Please do look above because I'll be attaching links to videos that I think, if there are other zodiac signs that I think you should definitely watch too. Check them out. I'll put them right above. Also check down below in the description box. You'll see the link to the Vimeo video because we do an extended full read tarot over there along with pulling romance cards and doing a romance reading. And also you'll see timestamps for this video so you can navigate it easily. Get around all those things that maybe you, like this introduction, you could just go right to the reading. There you go. Okay, so Taurus, for this week for you, there's almost like a fantasy dream of what you really want in your life. But there's a warning here that says, is that really what's happening with you at this moment? So you have this fairy tale version of what life is like, and it's really beautiful. And so far you've been able to keep yourself in that fairy tale world, whether maybe it's because you have the means to do so, or you've been guarded and sheltered. But now it's like, it's the reality is setting in, and it's not the way that you thought it would be. Let's put it that way. The circumstances are not beautiful. They're not elegant. They're not the way that you would like them to be. So this is the dream. This is the stag. This is leadership. This is the divine connection of spirit. Spirit perfectly manifested into reality. But this week, Taurus, this was your expectation for everything that you dreamed and wanted to be what reality was, and not understanding that whatever is manifested into the 3D world becomes imperfect. It becomes impractical, it becomes clunky, there are rules, there are obligations, there's all these hardships and things that will stress you out that are attached to manifesting into the 3D world, where you really just expected it to come out really beautiful. And I think that could be because up until now, you've been very fortunate. And if you haven't been very fortunate, you were over idealizing, thinking that even if in your deepest dreams, in your strongest manifestations, that if you manifested really, really hard, it would come out really, really exactly the way that you dreamed it. And you're learning this week that that's not how it is. How it really is a lot of long hours. It's a lot of unglamorous situations, almost like maybe you thought you'd be meeting your Prince Charming, right? You like almost like a fairy tale princess in the woods, Snow White being rescued by the prince. Just this almost fairy tale imagery that became an expectation for you, but who showed up was an eager beaver. Somebody who builds, like they say, the card says, build a strong foundation. Beaver spirit is somebody who works extremely hard. Beaver spirit is somebody who knows and understands the 3D world, and that it's gritty and it's dirty, and yet he loves it. Like, this is where he lives. He wouldn't want it any other way. This is who you felt like you were, right? If this is not you dealing with another person, this is who you felt like you were. This beautiful regal, this was how I was going to be received. Everybody was going to love me. Everybody was going to adore me, and everybody's going to listen to me, and my plans were going to be followed, and everything was going to be executed exactly. And this is how it really showed up. Buck teeth, furry, flat-tailed, busting his ass every single day, no glamour at all, awkward. Like, this is this is how you perceive yourself. This is how other people perceive you. This is what you thought was going to happen. This is what's really going to happen. Do you see the conflict? There's conflict between your expectations and your reality this week. Use your mind wisely. And maybe this is advice that came too late, because what it's asking you to do this week is say, okay, first of all, understand that if I'm stressed out, it's because my expectations didn't meet my reality. Okay, first of all. Second of all, like, I'm going to pull a few more cards too. Second of all, is this something that's really possible or even probable for you to pull off? Or is it a if pigs could fly situation? This week could be you trying to figure out the art of the possible, but that means having a very, very articulate, attuned brain to see, okay, what was it about the fantasy that attracted me? What were the important points of the fantasy? And how do I actually build that into reality? Because fantasy is so much different from reality. Reality isn't fluid. Reality is matter. It's solid. Very few things are fluid. It's energy that's almost caught and decided, energy that's almost stuck in specific forms. And it moves a lot more slowly than fluid energy. So how do I take what I dreamed and manifest it into reality for everybody to see? Like, how do I transform myself? How do I make them think? And already I feel this feeling, oh, interesting. Oh, that is so cool. Do you see this little hand? It's almost like a handprint of the gods. A blessing. That says, I'm there with you. Honestly, Taurus, this week is about understanding the difference between beauty, like the difference between glamour and beautiful. That's what it's about. It's about even, like, stop trying to put lipstick on the pig. Stop trying to dress it up. Stop trying to put makeup on it to make it look like some souped up version of what your dream was. Stop doing it. It's a pig. But the pig is a beautiful thing. The pig is a smart animal. The pig is a delicious animal. Like, no, can I even say that? The pig is a gentle animal and it's adorable for what it is. The conflict this week in you, Taurus, is not wanting things and wanting things to be the way that they are. You may have a choice between two paths, two roads, two people this week. Somebody with their antennae connected to the ether, really in tune with philosophy, and they're very great speakers, and they're so beautiful and elegant, and they just sort of whoosh away the room as soon as they walk in, and everybody, their attention is on them, and that's who you want to be. So it's who you want to be associated with, but it's asking you to be sure that that's the person that is really valuable, that that's the person who you really are compatible with. Because the things that you love, your heart space, and that can be a conflict between you two, you really, it's like what you love, you love things, you love material things, and you take great pride in those material things and having those nice things and being around beautiful things and people who wear beautiful things. But where does the hard work come from? And I think this was where you missed it. You didn't realize how much gritty work went into manifesting something like this. You didn't get it. Either you've been sheltered from it, you've never had to face it before, you haven't had to face it in a while, but this is the cold hard comeuppance of the truth that really goes into all this beauty. Like, this is when you learn the makeup tutorials and how expensive the makeup really costs and how much time it really takes to put all that crap on your face. And do you actually have time to do that now since you're working 16 hours a day? And what are you gonna do without the makeup now? And this is like the man behind the curtain. The real Wizard of Oz is really just a magician, a trickster. He really has that wisdom. He really has the advice that they need, but but he doesn't have all that glamour attached to him. And if they could just see him for what he really is and appreciate him from the beginning, or if he didn't feel compelled to be somebody he wasn't, to raise the bar on expectations so high that there would have been no need for disappointment to begin with. But this week there's disappointment. Because now you're starting to be introduced to what is really important. Not that you didn't know that love was important or that sincerity was important. I think all of those things you know very well. But there's this understanding that a lot more was going on to fuel your fantasy, to make it seem like your fantasy was reality and was attainable, and now you're seeing it's not that way. It's just not. And if you have a choice between two people, the stag and the beaver, of course you're going to want the stag. That's what you feel like you deserve. And it's beautiful, and you love beautiful things. But there's a touch of grace on this little bugger that shouldn't be ignored. And this is real Virgo energy and Taurus energy, building a foundation. So this, if it's about your solo journey this week, it's about the recognition and the realization of the hard work that makes the fantasy happen, and that the fantasy isn't actually a fantasy. It's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. But the smoke and mirrors take smoke producing machines. They take mirrors. They take people to run it. They take timers to time it so it happens at the right time. You are really learning the workings of the mystery this week. The mystery of people who are supposed to follow you, the mystery of your new job, the mystery of a new relationship or a new situation that you're in. You're really seeing the gritty underbelly, which is necessary. It's necessary because it's a lesson that you have. It's a lesson that you have to learn to be successful in this situation. This is why it's saying use your mind wisely. Stay calm. Be watchful. Be mindful. I want to see if another card will pull out for you, Taurus. Okay. Panther, reclaim your power, but it's in reverse. Oh boy. So I'm sitting here staring at the cards. Look, I'm sitting here staring at the cards. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So Taurus, there's two predators looking at this pig who is really tasty and yummy. And I feel like there could be inside, this is your shadow self, trying to resist like almost maybe depression. Trying to resist, trying to say, no, the world is wrong this way. The world doesn't, if it doesn't look as good and it's not beautiful, it's not correct. I can't be here. I don't want to be here. And this is also Coyote, people just waiting in the wings for you to weaken. See, this is reclaim your power, and your power is being drained. Your confidence, your self-esteem is being drained by your doubts and this divide between your expectations and reality. And there's just the coyotes waiting to pick off your bones, waiting for the weakness to finally get to you. So you're not really in a nice place. You're not really surrounded by benevolent people. Like I said, you could have just taken over a new department, be like a new boss, and they're not loyal to you. They're not as loyal as you would want them to be. And they actually are looking to basically take you down whenever they get a freaking chance. So there are wolves. There are wolves waiting in the shadows for you. This isn't the fairy tale forest. Oh, no, no. This is the jungle. Welcome to the freaking jungle. This little guy knows how to survive. This little guy can delve into the water, dive into the water, and defend itself. They're not going to go in after him. This little guy also, it's almost like the story of the three little pigs. Oh my God. It's the story of the three little pigs, because all of these creatures could be prey, right? For the wolves, for the hungry, for the sadness, for the weakness inside of ourselves. All of them could be prey, even this beautiful stag. But this little guy has the best chance of getting away. Why? Because he builds himself a home. He knows how to build himself a strong home that these guys can't get into. He knows what's important about himself. He has self-esteem. You know, his heart is strong. It's powerful. So he doesn't doubt who he is. He is okay with the simple things, but he makes sure that they're stacked the right way. And so when the wolves, the coyotes, the predators come around, he's protected and his family is protected because he wasn't afraid. And this is why it's saying use your mind wisely. He wasn't afraid to see the real challenges. He was like the little pig that built the brick house. It was like, I'm not going to be lazy here. I'm not going to be disappointed. Instead, I'm going to prepare myself. Wow. All right, Taurus. Let's go over to Vimeo and do a deeper read with tarot. I want to see tarot clarifying this. If this is where we part ways, thank you so much. Do check out the videos that I've recommended above. They could be helpful for you. And I will see you guys next week.